Good evening. Welcome to yoga. My name is Danielle. I want to thank you so much for joining me on this live stream comeback yoga class. I'm proud to be involved with Comeback Yoga. It is basically a nonprofit organization that meets veterans where they're at, and that means bringing you classes at home. We're going to be doing a level 2 class tonight. And for me, there's only one difference between the level 1 and the level 2 classes. It's not intensity. They're about the same intensity, but it's rather the differences in the instruction and the language. I might do less language and instruction in a level 2 class. And that's it. Even though it might feel like this level 2 class is pretty similar to a different yoga class you might have taken or experienced, it's a little different because comeback yoga classes are meant to serve the military population. And within that community, there are a lot of people that struggle with post-traumatic stress. And so comeback yoga classes are trauma-informed. The difference lies, again, in the language, instruction, and the tools that we use. So before we even get started, I just want you to look around, get oriented to your space. Notice what's close to your space. Notice where the exit is to your space. And then if there's something you can do to make yourself 10% more comfortable, or your space 10% more comfortable, let's do that now. For example, you might feel a little bit more comfortable if you are facing the exit versus having your back to the exit. Another thing, maybe you would like to have your phone that makes you feel comfortable. That's fine. Just put the phone face down so it doesn't distract you as we begin to do our practice. And another thing about my classes and specifically is that I always cue 2 blocks and a yoga strap as we practice. And if you don't have those things at home, that's okay. You can use throw pillows from your couch if we're using the blocks to pad your joints. You can use books underneath your hands or your feet if we're using the blocks to add height and bring the floor closer to you. So, and you might not even want those props at all. Just know that I will be cueing them, using them, and teaching with them. And now that we've oriented to our space, we've got our props and everything all handy, we'll go ahead and get started. And we're going to start lying down on the back with your knees bent and the feet flat. And then you're going to walk your feet wide to the edge of your mat and press your knees in towards each other. This is called constructive rest. You can rest your hands where they're comfortable. And just begin to notice how you're breathing this evening. Notice your inhales and notice your exhales. And if your breath is coming in a bit short or ragged, start to slow it down. And then begin to deepen your breath. Take a slow and steady inhale through your nose, fill your lungs and belly with air, and then open up your mouth, sigh all of your air out. Do another like that. Inhale, fill up to the top. Exhale, sigh it all out. From here, work on finding a rhythm to your breath that you can maintain for the rest of our class. Keep those slow and steady inhales and use your exhales to empty out entirely. Soften your muscles and the hinge of your jaw. Scan your body from head to toe. And just take note of any areas that feel tight, tense, or sore. And start to send your breath there. Also, be mindful of those areas as we begin to move in practice. Now take one more deep breath in, fill up to the tippy top. Full, complete exhale, let it go. And then you're going to keep your feet wide and your knees knocked in towards each other. And from that position, you'll start to move your knees back and forth like they're windshield wipers. So you notice when you go from that position, your knees kind of fall open wide. And so you want to be slow and controlled with the movement. Kind of use the movement to check in with how your hips and your low back are doing this evening. Because every night is different based on what you did the day before. And then the next time that your knees are over on the right, I want you to just let them, or to the left, I want you to go ahead and let them drop all the way down and bring your arms out to the side like a T. Now, if it's okay on your neck, you can also take your gaze away from your knees towards your right thumb. Good. Take one more inhale. Now on the exhale, bring the knees through center, drop them over to the right. And if it's okay on the neck, take your gaze towards your left thumb. All right, take one more deep breath here. On your exhale, bring the knees back to center, and then you're going to hug your knees in towards your chest. It might feel nice to add movement here. So if you'd like to sway side to side to give your low back a massage, or maybe even draw some circles on the ceiling with your feet, just take that movement right now. You're going to take your hands to the backs of your knees and rock and roll the length of your spine a few times. You want to gain enough momentum to meet up into a seat. Good. Now, from your seated position, right away, we're going to go to hands and knees for tabletop. And tabletop is a neutral spine. Think about stacking your shoulders over your wrist, your hips over your knees, and then your next inhale is cow pose. Belly lowers, gaze goes forward. Your exhale is cat. Round your spine. Take your gaze down. Good. Do another like that. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. You can start to take these movements on your own breath. You can even stay a bit longer in one of the postures if it gives your spine a nice stretch. Try to make the movements slow and articulated, linked with your breath. And you can also take other movements instead of the cat-cow breaths. Maybe circle the hips or look over the shoulders. There's really just no right or wrong here. Go where your body wants to go. And if you find a tight spot, stay there for a few breaths. Work it out. Slowly come on back to center. And then we're going to reach the right leg long. The toes are going to stay curled, and you'll shift back and forth a few times. Good. Now take your leg, cross it over to the left, slightly off the mat. Toes are still down. Look over your left shoulder. Bring your gaze to your big toe. Good. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, bring your leg back to center, and then the right knee comes down. Let's do left leg long, toes stay curled, shift back and forth a few times. Take your leg, cross it over to the right, toes are down, look over the right shoulder, bring your gaze to your big toe. Good, take one more inhale. Exhale, bring the leg back to center, bring your knee down. Do a round of cat-cow. And then let's just warm up the wrists a little bit. So let's turn the palms into a counterclockwise position. You'll end up with your fingers pointing towards your knees and your wrists pointing towards the top of your mat. Now you're in control of how deep you want to take this. So if it's already a little too intense, lean your body forward. If you want more, lean your body back. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale, walk the hands back to shoulder width apart. And then we're going to press the knuckles down and start to wiggle the fingers back and forth. Now, if you have enough flexibility to bring the whole top of the hand down, you can do that as well. If that's too intense, you're going to stay up on your knuckles. Good. Take an inhale. And exhale, let's bring the hands back to shoulder width apart. We're going to find our first downward facing dog. Curl your toes, send your hips high, press the thighs back. It might feel nice to ease in with some movement here. Walk your dog. Sway your hips from side to side. Just really try to relax your neck. Nod your head yes a few times. Shake it no. Just allow the crown of your head to be heavy. Now start to walk your hands back towards your feet. And you're going to want to bend your knees as much as you need to either bring the hands down to the mat, or hands can reach up and grab for opposite elbows. Good. You can do this pose in stillness. You can add movement by swaying side to side. Just maintain that soft bend to your knees. Crown of the head is heavy and weighted down. Let your neck go. All right, slowly bring the hands back down to the floor if they're not there already. Keep that bend to your knees. Roll up to standing slowly, one vertebrae at a time. And then when we get all the way up, we're going to come to the top of the mat and start to link our breath with movement. So on your next inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. On your exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold over your legs. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Come back to that tabletop, flat back. And then exhale, fold over your legs and release. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart. So we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, draw a circle with your hands. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Shine the crown of your head forward. And then exhale, fold and release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, draw a straight line to your heart. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. So we'll just add on from there. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale to hinge forward and fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, fold and release. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, come up high on your toes, shift forward to plank, pause here. On your exhale, we're going to come down to the mat. You can always bring the knees down first. Everything lowers down, tops of the feet are flat. And then inhale to a baby cobra. Lift up your chest, roll your shoulder heads back. And then exhale, chest to the mat. Press up to hands and knees. Find your downward facing dog. Take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for that exhale. Let it go. Inhale, come up high in the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, take tiny little steps to the top of your mat. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And then exhale, soft bend to the knees as you fold forward. Inhale and exhale. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank and pause. Exhale, come down to the mat, knees lifted or lowered, you choose. Tops of the feet flat. Inhale to a cobra pose. Press down into the tops of your feet. Like a wave, lift your chest and then loop your shoulders at the top. Exhale, come down. Find downward facing dog through plank or tabletop. Take an inhale here as we hold it. Stay for that exhale, side out. Inhale, come up high in the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up. We'll do one more round. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Inhale and exhale. Plant the palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank and pause. Exhale, lower down to the floor. Inhale, cobra pose, offer your heart. And then exhale, find downward facing dog. Good, take an inhale here as we hold it. Stay for the exhale, let it go. Good, come on down to hands and knees. And then we're gonna take a forearm plank. So you're gonna bring your forearms flat and parallel, like so. And then you're gonna step your feet back like you would in a normal plank pose. The hips are gonna be low here. The heels are gonna press back. Pull your low belly up and in. And all we're gonna do here is hold it. Nothing any more fancy than just holding it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come on down to a child's pose. Big toes touch, knees go wide. Send your hips toward your heels. Your forehead will either rest down to the floor, to one of your props, or you can do what I like to do. Make a little pillow out of your forearms. Rest your forehead on your pillow. Consider this your home base. What that means is that this pose is available to you the whole time that we practice. So if you become fatigued, if you lose your breath, if I call out a pose and it's not working in your body this evening, know that you can always return to child's pose to reground and to reconnect. You take one more deep breath here. Fill your lungs, the back of your heart with air. And then open up your mouth, sigh all of your air out. All right, let's press up to hands and knees. Find your downward facing dog. Hips go high, thighs press back. Inhale and reach your right leg high and back. On your exhale, bend your knee and stack your hips. Now, it might feel nice to circle your ankle here, maybe circle your knee. But also feel free to find stillness. Just let the right heel get heavy towards the left side of the mat. You'll feel your top hip fan open. Good. Re-square hips. Bring knee into chest. Look forward. Bring your foot between your thumbs. Back heel drops. Inhale. The left arm's going to guide you up to a warrior 2. And then on your exhale, take a moment. Adjust your stance. Can you bring your front thigh more parallel to the mat? And then reach your fingers away from you. Tailbone's going to drop as shoulders move away from your ears. Let's add a little pulse here. Inhale, straighten the front leg, palms touch overhead. Exhale, bend into your knee, warrior 2. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale, straighten the leg, palms up overhead. Exhale, back to your warrior 2. Inhale, flip your palm, reverse your warrior. Right arm goes up and over your ear. And then exhale your elbow down to your top leg. And then your top arm spins up and overhead, extended side angle. So we'll go through that a few more times. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Strong legs. There's still a bend to that front knee. Exhale, extended side angle. One more. Inhale to reverse. And exhale, extended side angle. Now we'll hang out in extended side angle a bit longer. Use your elbow as a lever to rotate your chest to the side. Press down firmly into your back heel. Your pinky finger is going to reach up and overhead. I know some of you, it might look more like this, right? It depends on shoulder flexibility. But we're trying to stretch that top rib cage. So breathe into the left rib cage. Elbow can stay up, but you can deepen a sensation here by bringing your bottom hand down. This is where a yoga prop comes in handy. You can bring that bottom hand down to a block or to the floor. And if you bring the bottom hand down, can you press your right bicep into your thigh and then your thigh back into your bicep? Good. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, we're coming back, warrior two. Hands to hips, straighten your front leg. Turn all 10 toes to the side. Tee out your arms and bring your feet underneath your wrists. Inhale, press down into your feet, and then exhale, hinge as your hips fold forward. Hands come down to the mat or maybe a block if you have tight backs of the legs. You want to take a soft bend to the knees and shift all of your weight to the ball mounds of your feet. That's going to send your tailbone high. Crown of the head's heavy. Let the neck go. And just notice where the sensation builds here. And then try to send your breath there. Inhale, tense your fingertips, lift up halfway. And then exhale, you're going to walk your fingers to the top of the mat and pivot your feet into your in a lunge. Plant your hands and step the right leg back to plank. Inhale, shift forward on your toes. Exhale, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. Offer your heart. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Inhale and breathe left leg high and back. Exhale, bend knees, stack hips. If you want movement, take it. If you prefer stillness, find it. Re-square hips, bring knee into chest, look forward. Bring your left foot between your thumbs, back heel drops. Inhale, right arm guides you up to a warrior two. I'm going to turn so I can face you. Stay where you are. Exhale, adjust the stance. Front thigh more parallel to the mat. Tailbone heavy. Fingers reach away. Shoulder blades move down your back. Inhale, straighten the front leg, palms up overhead. Exhale, bend back into your knee, warrior two. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more, inhale. And then exhale back into your warrior two. Inhale, flip your left palm, reverse. Left arm up and over your ear. Exhale, elbow down to thigh. Top arm up and over your ear. Extended side angle. Good. Inhale, reverse, strong legs. Exhale, extended side angle. One more inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, elbow down. Top arm up and overhead. Good. Now let's explore our extended side angle a bit more. Use your elbow as a lever to rotate your chest. Press down firmly into your back heel. Pinky finger reaches up and overhead. Elbow can stay up for more support, or bottom hand can drop down. Now, if you drop the hand down, press your left bicep into your thigh, and then thigh back into bicep. Good. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come on back, warrior two. Hands come to hips, straighten the front leg. All 10 toes point forward. Tee out your arms. Inhale, press down into the feet. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. As soon as your hands come down, tent the fingertips and lift up to a flat back. And then you're going to plant your left hand down and twist your right arm open. Remember, you can always use a prop underneath your hand for this as well. Come back to center. Plant the right hand down, twist the left arm open. Come back to center. Tent the fingertips, lift up halfway. And then walk your hands to the top of the mat, pivot your feet until you're in your lunge. Plant your hands left leg to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath here as we hold. Stay for that exhale, side out. Inhale, come up high on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, your hands to your heart. Now keep the palms of your hands together. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Take a moment to feel your heart beat underneath your thumbs. And now feel your feet press down into the mat. Feel yourself get grounded. Take a nice deep breath in. Fill up with something good. Exhale something that doesn't serve you. Let it go. Good. Bring your hands back by your side. I'll face you for this one. We're going to do a chair pose. And you have two options. Feet can be hip-width distance apart, or big toes touch as knees knocking towards each other, kind of like what we did on our back at the beginning of class, except for that the feet are together. So you'll know in your low back and your hips when you sit down into this chair pose, if this is too tight for you, feet hip-width distance apart. I'm a big fan of feet hip-width distance apart. So sit down into your hips, reach your fingertips forward, and then roll your shoulders back into their sockets. Good. Now you can keep reaching forward, or if it's okay on your shoulders, align your triceps with your ears. You want to shift all of your weight to the heels of your feet so that your toes are nice and light. You maybe can even lift up your toes, give them a little wiggle. As you press your toes back down, come a bit deeper. And then we're just going to add movement. Cross your thumbs in front of you. Inhale, straighten your legs and splash up. Exhale, sweep your hands to the back of your mat and bow. Inhale through chair all the way up. Exhale, let it go. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale through chair all the way up. Exhale, sweep and bow. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to chair. Pause here. Exhale, fold over your legs. Let it go. Inhale your hands to your shins. And then exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale and reach your right leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward. Right foot to right thumb for a lunge. And then the back knee's going to come down. The back foot's flat. Inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. Low lunge. Exhale, we're going to take an open twist. So the left hand's going to reach forward as the right hand reaches back. So you're shining your heart to the right side of your mat. Inhale, come back to center, palms touch. And then exhale your hands to your heart. Good. Inhale, hover your torso over your front leg. And then exhale, we'll take a closed twist. You're going to take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, press down into your palms, and roll your right shoulder open and back. This is a great place to stay. If you want a little more sensation, curl your left toes, lift your left leg up into a high lunge. And if you decided to lift the leg, press the right heel away from you. Good. Take one more inhale. And then on your exhale, reframe your hands to the front foot. And if your back knee is on the floor, lift it up to a high lunge. Plant your hands. Step the right leg to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale your back bend. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Inhale and reach left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward, left foot to left thumb, lunge. Back knee lowers, back foot's flat. Inhale, low lunge, arms up and overhead. And then exhale, let's take that open twist. Right hand goes forward, left hand goes back. Shine your heart to the left side of your mat. Inhale, come back to center, palms touch. Exhale your hands to your heart. Inhale, hover your torso over your front leg. Exhale, close twist, right elbow to the outside of left knee. Palms press together as left shoulder rolls open and back. Align your chin with your fingertips as if you were in a seated meditation. And that'll take the tweakiness out of your neck. Back knee can stay down, or you can lift the right leg up. You decide to lift, press your right heel away from you. All right, one more inhale. Exhale, reframe your front foot with your hands. If your back knee is on the floor, lift it up to a lunge. Plant your hands, left leg to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra pose. And then exhale, press up to hands and knees for a child's pose. Big toes touch, knees go wide. Hips to heels. Forehead is going to rest on something. And just come back to that slow, steady rhythm of breath we established class with. Maybe rescan your body. If there's lingering muscle tension, start to send the breath there. All right, one more deep breath in, fill up. Stay for that exhale, let it go. We're gonna press up to hands and knees, and then we're gonna come all the way down to the floor. I'm gonna do a little bit of a shoulder opener. So what I'd like you to do is reach your right fingertips forward, tent the fingertips down like you have a cupcake underneath your hand. You don't wanna smush the cupcake, okay? And then you're gonna slide the left arm underneath the right so that your elbows cross. And you'll bring your hands as wide as you can here, okay? Your forehead can either come down to one of your props or it's just gonna come all the way down, okay? I personally like to use this block. And you try to move your hands as wide as you can because you'll get more sensation that way. And just depending on where you're tight, you could feel this to the space between your shoulder blades, maybe even to the back of your neck. So as that sensation starts to build, notice the rise and the fall of your breath underneath you. When you inhale, your belly rises. When you exhale, your belly lowers. All right, take one more inhale. Now on the exhale, look up, roll over onto your left shoulder, and undo the cross of your arms. Now you're gonna rest your hands by your side and bring your right cheek down to the mat. Just let your shoulders rest a little bit. All right, we're gonna do the second side. You'll reach the left fingertips forward, tent them down again. You don't wanna smush your cupcake. Slide the right arm underneath the left so that the elbows cross. Then bring your hands as wide as you can make them, okay? Have your prop ready to rest your forehead down on. And once again, just notice where the sensation builds. And rest your awareness in the breath. Let the breath be a place of full presence here. Good. Take one more inhale. On your exhale, look up, roll over onto your right shoulder, undo the cross of your arms, and then the arms will lay down by your side as you bring your opposite cheek down to the mat. Take one more inhale. And then on the exhale, bring your forehead to center, slide your hands by your side, press up through hands and knees. Go ahead and take a seat and give your legs a shake. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall open wide. And we're going to take a forward fold here and would like to show you how you can use your props to support you, especially if your low back or your hips feel tight. You can take your props on any height and kind of wedge them to the arches of your feet, okay? So that when you start to hinge forward at your hips, your forehead has a place to rest, therefore just bringing the floor closer to you. So that's option A. B might just be one block behind your heels, and then it's the same premise, forehead down, okay? If you're not using props, you're going to start with a flat back. So you want length in your spine. Sitting bones down, crown of the head up. And then you'll start to hinge forward at your hips and fold. Once you get yourself situated to deepen the posture, walk your fingertips away from you and just let the spine round a little bit. You want to enter the fold with a flat back, but once you're here, let it round a little. Notice where you're holding your stress. Is it the back of your neck or the space between your shoulder blades? Maybe it's your low back or your hips. Wherever that tension is, just try to soften with the breath as we hold the pose. Slow, steady inhales to fill up. Full, complete exhales to let go. Now take one more deep breath here. And on your exhale, if you walked your fingertips forward, start to walk them back and lift your chest up. Close your legs, give them a little shake. And then we'll counter that with a seated twist. So come into an easy seat and bring your right hand behind you. Your left hand goes to your right knee. You're going to roll your right shoulder open and back. And gaze will either be past right shoulder, or you can align your chin with your chest if your neck feels tight or otherwise compromised. You always want to be mindful of your neck in a twist. All right, take one more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Good, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Roll the left shoulder open and back. Gaze either past left shoulder or chin to chest. Take an inhale and exhale, come back to center. All right, so we're going to make our way down to our back from here. And before you come on down to the back, I want you to make sure that you have at least one prop where you can reach it. You'll come all the way down and go ahead and take a nice good morning stretch here. Reach for the fingertips, reach for the toes, circle out the wrists and circle out the ankles. Bring your hands down by your side, bend your knees, bring the feet flat and walk your feet back until your middle fingers can brush up against your heels or as close as you can get. And from this shape, we're going to add movement. So on your next inhale, press down into your feet. Lift your hips and reach your arms up and overhead. And then on your exhale, lower your hips and your hands down slowly, like you're moving through mud. And once the hips and the hands reach the mat, your next inhale takes you up again. So now you're on your own breath. You might look a little different than me. That's okay. Exhale, hips and hands roll down slow. One vertebrae at a time. Good. Inhales take you up. Exhales lower you down. We'll do one more round. That last inhale sweeps you open. And that exhale lowers you down to the floor slowly. When your hips and your hands reach the mat, keep the knees bent, locate your prop, and you're gonna lift up your hips and scoot it underneath your low back and your hips for a supported bridge. Now, as you come into this pose, if your hips and your low back feel tight, walk your feet wide to the edge of your mat. And then other than that, there's not much more for you to do other than feel how grounding the pose is. Feel your feet press down into the floor and feel your hips get heavy on your prop. Feel your shoulder blades spread and widen beneath you. And then the back of your head, the base of your skull, gently supported by your mat and the floor. What can you soften? What can you let go of? Now, you can stay right where you are, or you can start to bring your knees in towards your chest and then straighten your legs up towards the ceiling. This is waterfall. It's an inversion. If you feel wobbly, hug your prop for support. Otherwise, just rest your hands where they're comfortable. Enjoy the sense of calm it brings when you reverse your blood flow like this. Float one foot down to the mat, and then let the other foot follow. Once both feet are down, lift up your hips. Prop can go off to the side. Hips can down to the mat, and then hug your knees into your chest. Once again, it might feel nice to take that movement, swaying side to side, just giving your low back a little massage. Now, let go of the knees, let your legs go long. We're going to come into our final pose, our rest pose. Take a moment to shift your hair, body, and clothes. Get as comfortable as you can on your back. And then you can return to your natural and spontaneous breath with no effort, no forcing. Feel how the mat and the floor supports you. Back of your head gently presses down into the mat. Feel the weight of your shoulders underneath you. Feel the weight of your glute muscles. Feel your heels press down into the mat and floor. You are supported. What can you soften? What can you let go of? If If you have more time to devote to this, I recommend another 5 to 10 minutes. If you're ready to be guided out, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, sway your head from side to side. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Roll over to your left or right side and just pause there for a breath. Use the strength of your top hand to press up to a seated position. And then bring the palms of your hands together. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Feel your heart beat underneath your thumbs. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And I hope to see you again next week. Take care.